Right now, interest rates are as low as I think we're going to see them for quite a while. Prices are going who knows where. Back in the day when I was buying a home, I bought a home because I needed a place to live. What has changed that people are so concerned now about price levels and investment values?
I think that we have in the last...
Doesn't it seem to matter more than it should to people?
Well, 20 years ago, we were experiencing this 10% to 15% a year on home values on the North Shore. And, you know, people who bought their homes then, I mean, it was as good a place, or if not better, than the stock market. I mean, where were you going to get a 15? You could buy your home, and 2 years later, you would realize that kind of a, what a good investment it was. There has been a correction, like there is always in the stock market. I mean, we've gone through a correction. And I would have to say to people that you are buying in probably the most desirable, one of the most desirable places in the country. You have incredible schools, a wonderful park district, access to Lake Michigan, something that we all use.
This is almost a magical place to
live.
It
is magical.
If you've been around very much.
It is. It is. And I think it's hard to leave here. We have 3 children. One is in New York, one's in Atlanta, and one is here. To be able to stay here and raise your children here, you know you have the best schools. And I think that's why a lot of people will make the sacrifices that they do. They certainly could be in another part of the country and another part of Illinois, but it is Chicago, another part of Chicago. But it is we're offering our children a future, and because of the outstanding education, and it
more than just the education, just the whole environment.
The whole environment.
North Shore of Chicago, and the price levels. I spent a lot of time in Southern California, and people would go crazy if they saw what you could buy here for $1.5 million compared to what you buy in other places.
Yes, yeah. No, it really is a, and you will give up the acre lot or half an acre lot to be.
I don't consider that a trade-off.
But to give that up, to be in this community, to be in a community, one of these, where you have all of the things that we talked about. People coming.
I have a park a block away.
Yeah, that's right.
In one direction, I have a park and a beach, and
that's right.
The other direction, what do I need?
Why are you worried about a backyard? You know,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're coming from an area where you have enjoyed from the south, very often people are coming from you know, an acre, 2 acres, or we have Barrington if they want to go out to Barrington and find land. But there is a great deal of allure with the lake being so close, and I think that getting down to the city, even beautiful Lake Forest is another half hour away from the city. So if you're working in the city, do you really want to spend 2 hours commuting a day? But from here, it's 20 minutes to a half an hour to be in the city, parked and at your desk. So there are a lot of great features about our life here on the North Shore.
So far we've identified the only downside of being here as giving up acreage.
Land is very valuable, and if you want new construction, you're going to pay a premium for it, because particularly in this East Winnetka area, if a house is torn down, the land is probably going to be $1.5 million. So you start at $1.5 million, and then you build a home, you're going to be in the $3 million range. So then I would have to say to somebody, take a good look at older homes that have been remodeled, restored, renovated. You'll have the charm of the older home, and you're going to have the all of the newness that you want. But the house might be 100 years old. So, but it is new construction has really caught the fancy of a lot of new buyers.
in particular, there's an attitude about Winnetka, is the perception of people. I don't find that when I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe, I think that maybe some of that doesn't exist anymore. I do know what you're saying, and I do think that, you know, if you were to describe one community, the real estate is a little more expensive in Winnetka than it is in Wilmette, and if they feel that, you know, if people feel that, well, because of that, I'm not going to be as comfortable in that community. Winnetka is, Wilmette is twice the size of Winnetka, about that, I would say, and I think that it may be a little more homogeneous or heterogeneous at Winnetka. Wilmette, excuse me, Wilmette would be a little more heterogeneous than Winnetka, which is tends to be, it's difficult to find a house in Winnetka under $800,000. I mean, it just is. So
let me get to the bottom line. It's really not a snobbish community.
It is not a snobbish community. You were here today with me, Joe, and these people that have come in here are all living. Interestingly, they've all been Winnetka people, and they are, you know, educated, caring, friendly, outgoing, and wherever you live, you're going to find your comfort level.